So as we did in Photoshop, CorelDraw, we are just going to do same here. I think the network was misbehaving, so the file is recorded and I'll be posting it here. So we create a rectangle, add a gradient here, add this gradient here to continue with the work. Please, there will be a recorded session that I'll be posting right after this one, so stay tuned with this one. We change the blend mode to 0. Now invert the color scheme that we are using here. Let me double click on this one and deepen this color a little, and deepen this one too. So same thing that we did in CorelDraw. You see, you should be able to manipulate the two softwares. You should be able to manipulate it very well. So if you know how to do one thing in Photoshop, the same thing in CorelDraw, it makes your work easier. So when you are touching any work, you know, okay, this work, let me use CorelDraw, I'll finish early. Let me use this Photoshop, I'll finish early. So you have to master one. You have to master one. But you see, out of curiosity, most of us wants to learn everything. I've added a layer mask to it. Select my brush tool. I want to brush off some parts from it. Increase this, reduce the opacity to somewhere here. So I need this layer. I need this layer behind my text and my rectangle. So let me just drag it. Let me just drag these two down here and just add these two down here. My name was down there, so let me bring it up. So we are just doing the same thing as we did in CorelDraw in Photoshop. Increase this. As we did in CorelDraw. Let me bring my rectangles here. Change this to white. You see, with CorelDraw, with Photoshop, let's add in some styles here at the edges. Let's duplicate this layer too. Bring it beneath this one. Change the color to this orange is fine. This orange is fine here. So let's type in some text. SRC General President. Change the font color. Change the font to Akira. Reduce the spacing to 25. I like it 25 here. I like it 10 here. This is what I like. That I don't mean that is the best, but that is what is best fitting the design for me. That's why I'm using that one. Let me duplicate this layer, this same layer, and use it to type the hopeful 24 with my font, my Montserrat here. Please, if you are not having the same font as mine, please download it. Go online. I've taught you how to download fonts online. I've given you some fonts, some websites where you can get some fonts also from. So let me hold the Alt key and drag this text here and type in as your next. So as your next SRC president hopeful. Let me change this to somewhere 400. Reduce the font size to 6. Select the text layer and the background layer, adjust it to the middle. Let me hold the Alt key again and bring this text down here, duplicate the text and add a hashtag poised to serve. Please, when you're dealing with hashtags, please use the words that you know. You see, don't just add any word to some words to any content to someone's job. You have to know the meaning of what you are giving the person. Empowering through information. So this is our next hashtag again. Let me create my rectangle here, simple rectangle here. Bring in my logos that I've downloaded. Bring in the logos that I've downloaded for the project. Change this font size, font color to white. The corners, to add a style to it. And now we go to the inner logo here. Let me save it so that I can get it here, so that I don't go online again whilst I need it. So we just add the logos. So please, if you want to be part of the master class, please send me a message privately and I will send you some information on how you can join. The information on how you can join. So you know SRC. Let me close the gap. Please, this is just for educational purpose. I'm not going for any position at UNE. This is just for educational purpose. You see, so you just come to a rectangle, ellipse tool to create something simple here. We change the fill to nothing and we add a stroke to, let's say, 35 or 50 to it, to add some style. Hold the Alt key and click and drag to bring some up here. We can increase the stroke size to 120 here. Change this one to 122 to add a style to it. Now let's go for abstract background and just bring it in here. Change the blend mode, bring it down here. And change the blend mode. You see, just as CorelDraw, we change it to soft light or overlay, but I prefer soft light. You see, you can use any of the things here, but make sure it's blending in with your design. If it's not blending in, please don't use it. You can use any of these things here, but make sure it's blending with your design. So I'm using a soft color with an opacity of 60. So I'm also done with this one. So let me go ahead and save on my computer for future purposes. So save in Photoshop, election flyer, Photoshop. So that's all for this tutorial. So the next thing we are going to do, I've saved it in JPEG 2. So if I open the two works side by side, you should be able to identify the CorelDraw and Photoshop. You see, it looks very similar. It's the same thing we just did in CorelDraw, same thing in Photoshop. You see, the blend modes I used in this CorelDraw here is different from the ones I used with this with Photoshop, but they are the same works. So you just have to learn the tool that makes your works very fast and adapt to it. Use it all the time that you want. You see, let me add a layer mask here and brush off some parts here, like we did in in CorelDraw. Simple to me, but I don't know how it's going to be to you, but I hope it's just going to be simple as we did here. So the next thing is working with templates and resources. You see, when we see templates and resources, those are the things that makes our works easier. Those are the things that makes our works very easy. So as we created the core card last time, that was day 8. You see, the core cards that we created, I made this design here. And people were asking, how did you do it? How did you do this? How did you do this? We want to also submit our works. We also want to submit our works the way we want. Like, you see, working with when it comes to graphic design, your mode of delivery also adds a price or a value to your work. Your mode of delivery, how you deliver your works. Mostly when it comes to branding, if you want to deliver very well, deliver very fast, you just have to be working with something called mockups. When you say mockups, it means just as how it's how it's going to be look when it's real. That is what we called mockups. So there are plenty mockup sites that we use, mockup websites, but the best one I like using is mockupsdesign.com. I'm putting the link into the page, the WhatsApp pages. These are some of the pages that I pick up mockups from. So when you come there, you can search for. So first thing you're going to work on is our core card. We are just going to put our core card into a design. So we can just come to the search bar here. You see, when it's open, this is how it's going to come with some default. So you search core card. See, as I was always saying, you have to be specific with what you want. Be specific. So for now, our assignment is to submit. I'll add the project that we are doing. We are going to be doing how to put up with mockups and stuff. So, and we are going to be working with this one. I think I will go for this one. It's very nice. You see, don't just use any mockup. You see, some mockups, it's easy to get it for a client. So if you, this one, like the one that I'm just coming to use here, when you give it to your client and the client tells you they want the same design, shape and stuff, mostly it's going to be difficult, because Ghanaians, we don't normally get this type. We are just used to the rectangular type You see, we are just used to those ones. So let me just select the rectangular one. I just want the simple one that contains just one Photoshop file. You see, when I drag my mouse on it, it tells me it has 3 PSD files, and it has given me the size, which is 85 by 55 millimeters, which is 3.6 by 2.3 inches. So let me select this one. It's very simple. Let me use this. I think this one is okay. So you come to the download button, it will just download for you. So you just wait for it to load in your downloads panel. I think this one is 144 megabytes. So as we wait for it to finish, you can just go back to your Photoshop. You create the core card that we created earlier on. You can just come to your CorelDraw or Photoshop and create same. But please, when you are working with logos, most logos, please use Photoshop, CorelDraw for your logos. So whilst we are downloading this core card mockup here, there is another site also that we are going to be using for today's session, which is freepik.com. So we are going, since we are working on merging this and that, Photoshop and CorelDraw with templates and resources, that is what we are going to do for this tutorial too. Network is running very slow. Since I started the download, it's working. So this site is only for mockups and stuff. So if you need anything aside mockups, when you come there, you are not going to get it. You won't get it. The network is running very slow. So I think that the file is ready. The file is almost ready. So our file is done here. So if you extract the files and you open it, so we have all these files here. So you can just choose any that you want. I want to go for this one. In our masterclass session, I'll be teaching how to do mockup designs, how to create our own mockups, how to work with mockups and stuff. That is what you're going to be doing for. So this is this one and then this one. So you just right click on this layer, edit content. Now we drag our core cards, the front side, to Photoshop. we just expand it. So we didn't use their exact measurement, that 85 by 55. So when you click on save, it will just save here. You see, so this is the back cover. Click on save, it's just saved. Change this color here. We can change it to white because that's how it's appearing here. You see how nice this it is. This design has been on this work. So if you send this to your clients, they will feel very okay. So this is how it's going to look like. You see, you get the real view of how you want your work to look like. So we can save it, call card mockup. So the site that I just shown you is just a free website. It's just a free website. So I've placed the link to the page there. So freepick.com. I think they have an error. So let me just search freepick here. So I've been using it. So I can just click on it and it will bring me something that I need. The internet here is very slow. It's very slow. So freepick. Now let's come here and search for 3D text. So we can just search for 3D text here, because the next thing we're going to be doing is 3D text, a golden 3D text. So we are done with the election flyer design. We are done with the using resources. So let me create something simple here. Let me use praise. So we are going to create something with praise, the text phrase praise, and the font I'm using for this one, let me use Trajan. I think it's one font that people like. Let me maintain this, or let me use Bebas. No, let me use Avigia. Yeah, I think I'll choose the Avigia. So praise reloaded. So we are creating a different thing too with our text designs. Praise reloaded. So we just remove this, bring out a space here, and as we created the last time, we create a triangle here with 3 sides, a polygon with 3 sides here. Fill in with the color that we want. Let's say black here. Remove the stroke, right click, convert to curves, use the shape tool, change this to a curve, or delete this, hold there, click here, so praise reloaded, something simple. We are just doing something simple. You see, it all includes working hand in hand with Photoshop and with CorelDraw. So something simple here. Fill in a color with this one. So we are just going to create a simple flyer with this praise reloaded here. So let's bring our reloaded here. I think this place is okay. and mostly I like using small letters when it comes to these type of designs. I like using small letters. So you can just export this to the tool. Let me create save it in PNG. So create text, it's in PNG. This is a simple design that we've done. So when it comes to free pick, this was what we are looking for, 3D gold, 3D, let's say gold text. We are just looking for something also called a mockup. So it's also just like the mockup we use for the core cards. So we are just going to, you see, you can just get plenty 3D gold objects from this place too. So you can choose any that you want. So let's browse into it a little. Let me go to the next page and see if I can get what I'm looking for. You see, all these premium ones are paid, so you have to pay before you get it. You can't get it for free. Most items you can't get it for free. There are few ones that you can get for free. When you buy it too, you can use it for any work that you want. You see, with the free ones you won't get most things that you need for your job. I'm looking for one golden. See, all these are not very nice to me, because the nice ones you have to pay for it, and I've not bought any of them, although I have some that I've bought already, downloaded already. So I think I'll go for this one here. I just like the way it is. So you see, it's in PSD, Photoshop, and in image. So you can just search for PSD files here. Some are Illustrator files, some you can work on it in CorelDraw. So that is what is here. So we are just going to download that one. So as we click on it for it to download, we just wait for it to finish downloading. So after it finished downloading, I think I just downloaded it recently. So this is it, the king text effect. Let me just extract it here. Let me extract it so that I can get it here. So it's down here. You see, this is what I was looking for. So you just open it in Photoshop as we did. We see this is where your design is going to be. Your design, it will be on the first layer. Mostly they name it. That's why we always say it's best you name your layers. It's best you name your layers, so that some things becomes easy for you. So we just click, drag it here. We can just delete their own and add our own here. So the moment you click save, it will just save, replace the 3D that they have created already there. You see, very nice. We've created it here. You say PSD text effects. We can just take this out and just create something with this. So if you want to get only this 3D here, you can just remove the background layer. You see, this is a background layer we've also created for it. So you can just take it, clear everything out, and open the edition here, and the shadow that they've placed, you can just reduce the opacity to somewhere 60, so that you can use it for your work for it to look nice. So if you go to file, save as, change it to PNG, you can just say 3D gold text. So let me say we are creating a simple flyer with these dimensions, 5 by 5 inches, 300. Add a color gradient adjustment here, add some colors to it, and come and pick our 3D and just paste it here. You see, very nice, very nice, very nice. So we can just use it for all our works, just do what we want with it, and it will be very nice to be using such things. You see, it's there, it's very nice. You can decide to use this, you can decide to bring in the one you did in Photoshop. It will all look nice, but you see, black on red mostly is not accepted. It's not accepted to me. It depends on the job you're doing. You can just use this, add a color overlay to it to white, or you can just use your 3D. You see, your work has to look a little bit professional in a way, professional in some ways. You can add plenty things to it for it to look very nice. Either this or this. You can just use the two too. You can just use the two. You see, as I'm adding this to the background, you see it becomes a little bit very nice. You see, I've added more edits to it. It's okay. You can just add in all your text and images and stuff on this flyer and make it pop very well. So let's save this too. Please, I want to be dropping this one to the page. It's very big for me. So 3D gold text in Photoshop here. So we can bring in their layer here and save it to as JPEG. So in summary, I'll say we've gone far. Text 3D good text flyer with what we are doing here. So as we end today's session 2, I know we've learned about how to make logos in the earlier lessons. We've created a flyer, we've done a core card mockup design here, core card mockup. So that's all for today's lesson, a core card, how to do mockups. So if you're designing a banner, if you're designing anything, there are mockups there that you can use to present your works for it to look very nice. In something, you see this one, this, there are plenty that you can get on this mockup site. When you go to the free picture, you can get mockups to here. You can get mockups to here, but most of them are paid, and this on this place too, they are for free. This site is for free, so you can use it for anything that you want. So I would like to end today's session here whilst we prepare for other things, and keep on creating. Try your hands on different things. So I'll be dropping the projects that we'll be taking for our certificates on the page. There is going to be a certification. We didn't say it earlier because some are not serious and some just want to see what is going on there and that. You see, we want people to get a skill that they can use it to at least earn something. And the master class too will be out very soon, and with the master class it's going to be paid. So drop the flyer for it before we end this Academy 1.0 session. So thank you for joining in. Let's keep on creating. Let's be best. I'm so sorry too for the network challenges that we're facing here. I think I have an issue with some of our cables, so we are experiencing some network shortages and blackouts and other stuff. So please, I'm sorry for all those inconveniences. Hope to make up with us. So thank you for joining me today. See you next time. Please, let's keep on practicing and be best. Thank you. Bye bye. Things to do so that you